Greetings fellow musicologists, I'm Alex Tamulis, welcome to the channel. Today we look at track number 4 of Senjutsu. The song starts with an E minor and a D major progression, and it's played on acoustic guitar, right? And it's very Pink Floyd-esque, early 70s type of prog. And the metric and the way that Bruce sings, it's very akin to Roger Waters. It's got this layered vocals. It's slightly similar to the Moody Blues as well. You know, there's a song by the Moody Blues. It's called Nights in White Satin. And you get that vibe, you know, the Wishbone Ash, Floyd, the Steve Harris influences. And like I said, you know, the song is divided into 3 main sections. You have 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes, and then it's like the acoustic, right? And then you have the second part, which, you know, comes in with Nico, and then Bruce comes singing the first and the second verse. The second part is the meaty part, you know, it leads to the outro, but it's like 6 minutes long. So you have the outro with 1 minute and 30 seconds roughly. So that's the structure of the story that they want to tell. Now off to the lyrics. How do we interpret the lyrics? You have these 3 characters. They're telling the stories. You know, the stories are intertwined, but they're being told from different perspectives. So you have the first 2 stanzas, which are both part of the intro. You know, you have this regret and the looking back type of vibe. You know, it keeps the same motif that you see on other tracks like Senjutsu and Hell on Earth. And it talks about vanity, since it says, all is not it seems to be on the outside. Sometimes what appears to be is a show. What shows in the face is only a mirror. We all have some better places to go. Yeah, people never show their true colors. People often focus on appearance. Steve presents us with the myth of Narcissus, with the mirror analogy, you know, very clever, also related to someone who's reached a higher position in society, someone who's always worried about their image in relation to other pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, we don't know what we have till we've lost it, until that time comes and know that it's gone. We also seem to take things for granted, only feeling that something is valuable once that something is gone. So hard to say things that we should have uttered long ago. Tear myself away from thoughts in my head. We also regret that saying things, maybe not telling people why or how we loved them, how we cared about them, and then obviously the time comes for us to face reality, to go to war, maybe never come back, and we wish we just had told people how we truly felt about them and also that we missed them dearly. So then we get to the end of the intro, and to me, now we have a different perspective for the second part, showing the beauty of a culture, the beauty of the Native American culture, or it also works for any type of tribe. Anyone who shares a social or cultural identity. The people worshiping the sun, and all the children point up to the sky. They see the eagle as it floats on the wind, and they follow with their spirits high. Native American bird symbols are believed to represent the physical form of a spirit helper, a guide. So they considered the eagle to be a sacred bird since they're the highest flying birds. It symbolizes courage, wisdom, strength, and it's also got a purpose. It carries a message to the gods. You know, it flies really high, carrying prayers to the Great Spirit in the spirit world. And also, it has this special connection with visions. So that's why Steve says, and they follow their spirits high, so that people fly along through prayer, through ritual. Verse 4 brings the buffalo symbol, so let's have a look at it. Buffalo roam on the plain, we walk into the flames but dance for rain. The hallowed dead in sacred ground, the elders, and we wash away their sins for them. So the buffalo is seen as a giving animal, gave its life to the tribes so they could live. It provides the tribe with food, with shelter, you know, clothing. So some tribes, they also have firewalking, and we can interpret this action of stepping on hot embers as a rite of passage, as a test of an individual's strength and courage, or in religion as a test of faith. Besides that, they have the rain dance, and it's an obvious sign to win the favor of the gods to keep the harvest safe. So the motif of hope and tenacity. The bridge now, it comes in at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and the lyrics, they switch to this vibe of how the tribes treat their deceased. Feel the spirits of the old ones standing proud upon their race, and the testament to ancestors that are never to retrace burn the flame of innocence as they ride into the sun. Thinking now of our forefathers that are lying dead upon. Holy ground and sacred earth now, revisit stolen youth. We pray and remember the ones who are gone, the ones who gave their lives to a cause, but they were just too young. It's linked to innocence, it's linked to purity, riding into the sun, going to battle, and now you're dead and you're inhabiting the earth, which has become sacred, yet we give all these honors to people who are gone, but we feel guilty because we stole their youth. We stole the most precious thing that they had, which was time. And these rituals are very comforting to the ones who stay. So it appeases this heavy burden that we all carry. And then the chorus comes in as a lament. It's all about sorrow. It's the understanding that this world, that this culture embraces is no more, no longer. It's lost. We've lost the world, and it's, due to war, pestilence, hunger, competition, survival of the fittest, you name it. The chorus is just that realization moment where everything you've done led to the conclusion, which is just this doom. The instrumental section will carry this idea of a timeline, a progression where all these things we've been discussing are taking place. Life's going on, wars, they come and go, better times come, and then not so good times prevail. So I really like the modulation here. It's the usual E minor progression, but then it goes to D minor, so to F major, and it's a mirror modulation. So it shares parallels with the words, with the lyrics. So I think it totally fits the vibe of the song, and it builds up, and then it brings Bruce back with the chorus, lost in a lost world. So it's got this interesting juxtaposition, because you say, well, we're lost, but we're being placed in sacred ground. And I just thought it was a neat counterpoint to being lost. Then the tempo slows down to bring the outro, and it's, a beautiful moment. I get goosebumps every time I hear it. The words are very poetic. In my opinion, it's the epitome, it's the highlight of the song. I did an acoustic rendition, and you can check it right here. It says, will we ever heal our old wounds like forever darkness worn, fighting for their lives again? So come on now, don't be afraid. This is where destiny lies, just to let us breathe again, put upon this earth to wander and to walk forever lost. Similar to the writing on the wall, it's keeping the elements. I know that Senjutsu is not a concept album, but it is a thematic album. It's got this important part, the fact that we're wandering, we're roaming, and the lands are barren. We're lost. We feel lost since we got no purpose and no meaning, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Everything's gone. We're all going to perish. We're all going to die anyway. So the outro seems to be told from a different perspective. The intro brings your regret. The main section brings awareness to the good aspects of cultures. And then the outro will give you this more realistic and neutral perspective. And this goes on, watching the clouds drift away, related to the passage of time. And then it closes with an Auf Wiedersehen, the separation between living and the dead. That's why it says, until we meet again. So I'll see you when I'm also dead, when I cross the river Styx, when I meet Charon and Hades. And that concludes the fourth track, Lost in a Lost World. Very powerful, very poetic, very poignant. And I hope that you liked this video. If this was somehow helpful to you, please consider subscribing to this channel. I do hope you get to join us. I'm signing out, stating that music is what music does. And as the clouds drift away, until we meet again in the next video.